I've gone long, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, it's a new show, new beginning. 2017, I thought I got a new part for myself. Welcome to the new Dr. Transit show. Biatch. That's right, I ain't know that joke anymore. I am the heavy metal Dr. Transit, you hear? So I thought I took a break from my regular plans through Nakshatra series and bring you about the major change that is happening in the sky. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Saturn is about to enter the sign of Sagittarius this Friday. And it's going to be entering the Nakshatra Mula, so I thought, why not cover what this Nakshatra means for Saturn? What happens when Saturn takes his truck, the moving truck, from the Nakshatra of Jyeshtha and brings it into the new house of Mula? See, we got President changing residence, we got Saturn changing residence. What else do you need? It's better than TMZ news, man. So, today we are going to be covering Saturn in Mula Nakshatra. That's right. And as always, if you do not know what nakshatra your Saturn is in and all your other planetary placements in your horoscope, so you can see exactly where the Saturn is going to transit, which house, which nakshatra. For this, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, Astrology, Conjunction, Aspects, and Mahadashas at the Speed of Light, including all my consultations at this link. So, let's get started with Saturn in Mula. So, ladies and gentlemen, Saturn in Mula is a very, very heavy nakshatra placement for Saturn. Oh, no. Don't be all like, hiding in your closet now for 2.5 years thinking it's going to be a disastrous nakshatra. No, this is a deep nakshatra. You got to understand Mula. What is Mula? Mula represents roots, the root cause of your existence. It is the roots of your soul, who you are as a person. And what is Saturn? Think about it. What is Saturn? In the most basic of its perspective, Saturn represents time, old age, old traditions, who you really are to the most traditional root level. Saturn, it's one of its dignity represents history. People who study history pretty much have a very prominent Saturn in their horoscope. People who study about, archaeology, paleontology. So now you have this planet Saturn entering into the nakshatra of Mula. And Mula is a nakshatra controlled by the Dithi Niriti. I think I'm pronouncing it wrong. Of course I am. I just love butchering names. That is my quality as a scientist. So, Nriti is a nakshatra of destruction and havoc. Okay. It's kind of like Aradhana nakshatra. However, the destruction and devastation that Nriti brings is to destroy your material illusions. Aradhana is about cleaning out all the mess. Nriti is about destroying and bringing havoc into your material consciousness. So if we have been running around wanting to know all of this, wanting to have all of the material things in our life, wanting to have all the material gains in our life because we love it, we want it, we enjoy it. It's like part of our new existence. And remember, Saturn was in Mula Nakshatra in the last century. In 1987, December, it entered Mula Nakshatra. 1988. However, why is this particular Saturn different from any Saturn Mula Nakshatra that we know, at least in our own human historical past? Why is this Saturn in Mula so different? Because of the fact Since we entered the golden age from 2013, literally between 2012 and 2013 was the entering of the golden age according to Vedic and the Mayan times. Due to the fact our Earth went above, our entire solar system went above the galactic plane. Before it was below the galactic plane, meaning the energy was low, energy was suppressed, energy was negative. Then suddenly it started, now it's rising up to the galactic plane. It has risen, but it's, again, remember, it's a motion. It's a motion of going up and down, up and down. So this is now a up resurgence. Any nakshatra, any planetary placement, any zodiac sign you study has a much more higher elevated reason than it was before. So what Saturn does here for majority of us, whether if it's your Saturn in your own birth chart, this is mainly the Saturn series of Saturn in Mula Nakshatra in your birth chart. Okay, but think of it as a majority of public now also be experiencing the Mula Nakshatra, which is that you always want to now connect to your root level. Who you are at a root level is seen from this. You want to know your history. You want to know exactly what you really are. People who have this nakshatra of Saturn in their birth chart always somehow make mistakes, always somehow do things in such a wrong way where they always have to go back to really learn why they made the mistake. And when they understand that they made the mistake because they did not really know the true essence of why they were doing this. And that is what this Mula Nakshatra is about. Saturn is a planet of the dark world, right? It's a deep planet. It's far away, it's cold, but also it represents the depth. Because Mula represents the roots, Saturn is now going to take everybody to their root level, who they are as a human in their existence. And this is the constant battle with the people with Mula Nakshatra in their birth chart versus just this 2.5-year transit, or especially this entire year and next year, Saturn is going to be in Mula Nakshatra. And remember what I said when Saturn entered Scorpio 2.5 years ago. If you watch my video of Saturn in Scorpio, I said, we're going to go deep now to understand astrology and hidden knowledge and occult. And we did. For 2.5 years, we found out things about astrology that, we knew that were oblivious to us. Now, Saturn is going even deeper than Scorpio. It's going to the actual nakshatra level, the deep root level, man. You dig it? Now we're going to go even further, deeper into understanding not just planet, signs, nakshatra, but exactly what is the source of astrology. Why astrology? What is that one thing that astrology represents? That ultimate destination of astrology will be revealed while Saturn is in Mula Nakshatra. Whether it's through me, whether it's through some other person, through some other astrological institutes, you are going to learn the deep essence of that. But also general public will learn the truth of how scattered and screwed up the history is. Everything that you know about history was not really what happened. It was just taught to you to manipulate the mind. But now Saturn says, no, you have been following the wrong thing. Let me break this illusion. Let me bring you to the reality, because I am reality. I am practicality, and I'm going to show you exactly what you are and who you are. Whether you are Hindu, Muslim, Jewish, Christian, Protestant, pagan, Buddhist, whoever you are, now somehow you will hear news around the world. Books, research, scientific journals coming out. Well, we thought that pyramids were this, but they're not this. We thought that Hindu civilizations were this, but no, we think it's this. It is the root of yourself to the highest of level. Why? Because this is no longer Saturn in Mula Nakshatra as it was in last century and a century before that. This is the exaltation of each nakshatra and sign. Each planet now is trying to bring a huge transformation to go to the higher vibration of that nakshatra instead of the lower vibration of this nakshatra. And this is a nakshatra ruled by Ketu. This is a dharmic nakshatra, meaning there is going to be a huge resurgence of people wanting to, do things in a very traditional manner. People want to understand who they are. They no longer want to rely on the new age things. They do not want to rely on things like technology and cell phones and tablets and apps and social media. People are going to be more wanting to know about their roots, who they are at the root level. So all of these platforms are now going to start exuberating more of our root level, who we are as people. We're really going to start putting our karma towards, putting our action towards how we understand ourselves. Meaning there's going to be even more resurgence towards yoga, meditation, understanding yourself through connecting with nature. Okay? People are going to be naturally become botanists. A lot of people are going to wanting to know nature, become meteorologists, become botanists, wanting to connect with the garden. It is going to suddenly happen because why? Every transit affects your mind. So obviously it's going to affect your mind, but Saturn is our karma. Saturn shows the action we must now take. Because if we do not understand or try to understand ourselves to the root level, Saturn is going to be very destructive then here for you psychologically. If you're stuck in the material world, if you're stuck in wanting to just have all the material things in your life, this is going to be a very painful nakshatra for you. But if you said, no, I really just want to know the universe within me, which is far wealthier than any wealth that I will ever get. That's what you have to realize. It is like Morpheus taking Neo to the rabbit hole. It's trying to show now how deep the rabbit hole goes. And especially when Saturn right now is going to be in Gandhanta point. And then is going to be in Gandhanta point when it retrogrades in the middle of this year. Then goes back again. This is an entire year of Gandhanta point. Meaning we have to untie our knots, untie our spiritual knots. We have to become spiritual human beings. So people who have this Saturn in their Mula Nakshatra, this is a Saturn return for you. Saturn is coming back to its roots. But because it's a higher vibration, Saturn is saying, I am going to bring a complete change in who you are and your actions. And if your actions are not towards understanding nature, not towards understanding your spiritual roots, not understanding who you are within yourself, then I'm sorry, I cannot help you there. You should go towards wanting to have material wealth and material things. You have to pay bills. You have to run a family. Yes, no one's saying you should leave all that. But you have to now also questioning who I am. I want to know. I need to perhaps go to a guru. I need to attend something, some seminar. That's what I look at it as. But especially, Nriti is also related and in conjunct with Kali. Kali is the goddess of Tantra, Tantrics, and the hidden force, magician, Wicca. In a way, in a Western sense, you can relate it to paganism. You will now see people wanting to do a lot more rituals than before. People are going to wanting to know how do I understand mantras and some of these saunas, and I want to go to the deep. So you will see a lot of people, getting greatly, deeply interested in occult, mysticism, sorcery, tarot, Vedic cards. People now just want to come back to who they were at the root level, which is to understand yourself. See, Tantra has a very bad reputation. Tantra, oh my God, he's a tantric guru. He'll do something to make me into a chicken. No, that's the bad marketing of Tantra. Tantra is really towards aligning your entire chakras so you can have the entire force of the God coming within you. So Saturn with Mula Nakshatra people actually naturally are attracted to Tantric because they may have been Tantric in their past life. Okay. So guys, this is my analysis of people who have Saturn in Mula Nakshatra and Mula Nakshatra of Saturn, which is now happening this Friday. And it is going to be here pretty much for the entire year. And so how this Saturn energy is going to happen in the world, that's what this nakshatra was. So if you're new to my channel, subscribe below. And remember, I'm going to be appearing on my own channel, YouTube, which is my transit channel. So make sure you subscribe to that. And also, if you need books, reports, consultation, check out the links here. Otherwise, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.